Hey everyone, welcome to Canje Play. Oh wait, dot dot dot. Canje celebrates 100 subs. Woo wee! So, thank you so much. This goes out to big shout outs to my Patreons as well as my subscribers. Thank you so much for getting me here. So, today is the day of you asking me stuff. You want to know anything about me? Ask away. Just post in the chat and we'll go through that. I know a lot of people like to do stuff like, okay, well, they'll open up their background and you can see their calyx is full of games. I don't have a calyx full of games. I have a floor full of games pushed up into a corner. And at first I was like, you know what? You want a calyx full of games? There you go. There's a calyx full of games for you. And that is nowhere near as neat as mine would ever be. So, but that we have my background and my in-between place that I'm staying until I move into my final place in 6 months. So backgrounds, Q&A, that way. So as people come in, if you want to ask me anything in the chat, feel free to do so. Anything you like, that'll work out. Let's see. I can start talking about a few things. Let's see, I started back in May and kind of talking about, when did I start? I started back in May doing, I've been watching a lot of people do board game reviews, and I decided to, well, with the help of some very nice people, cough, Rob and Mel, I decided to get into streaming and try it out. So I did that. And I created Canje Studios, which is just a moniker for me doing doing playthroughs. And that's what I've been doing this whole time, so that was kind of fun. So hey Dragon, hey Rory, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. So like I said, as you so here's what's funny. I found a tool that would let me do like display the chats, the questions in the chat, but I'd already created the stream by then, and there were some stipulations around it. So I found a way to kind of work it in. So it'd be like, Rory's asking me, let's talk seriously about too many bones. Okay. All right. I will be. I will get Too Many Bones. I will, but I can't get it this year. In the scope of raising money to move to this final place that I'm buying, that I'm going to live in, and just kind of moving expenses and all that. All I'm doing is just taking in all the Kickstarters that I've already backed from last year and only backing one. Yeah, one, which will be Primal, because I already backed Sworn and all those other games previously, but I'll only be backing Primal the Awakening this year, and then that's it. But once I'm settled in, Rory, next year, Too Many Bones is on the list. There's too much good press about it for me to ignore it, and I'd like to give it a shot. So yes, I will be doing Too Many Bones next year and getting it to the table and doing playthroughs and having a good old time with it. But you got people like Sakabra and on Twitch, and Rob, who's done a lot of playthroughs. You've got One Stop Co-op Shop, who's done some playthroughs. You've got a lot of people to do it, but I promise I'll get in on that and play it as soon as I can. You're gonna hold me to it? No problem. I am going to get it on the channel. I just have to be able to afford it, because I hear it's good quality for what you get. Hey, look at her. How you doing? You ordered it with what, Cloudspire? So Too Many Bones, when I looked at a lot of playthroughs and of Too Many Bones, I was like, okay, this game interests me. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of things I like. I looked at Cloudspire and I watched 4 different channels do playthroughs of them. and it didn't draw me. Like I didn't feel the pull of it, and I don't. And so I was like, eh. I mean, chip theory games got they sound like they got some real solid backing for what they do, but Cloudspire never really called to me. But Too Many Bones, as I keep watching, and I was like, all right, this game sounds pretty cool. That's the one on their list that's really got me. So let's see, what else can I splurge about? Like I said, if you have questions, ask away. I am an open book. um, Let me think. What else can I go through? How am I liking Gloomhaven? I am loving Gloomhaven so much. So I've hey Hans, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I like Gloomhaven. I played Gloomhaven when once. I bought Gloomhaven in 2018, and it was on sale, funny enough, in 2018, but I bought it then. I played the scenario one with a bunch of friends, and we played it all wrong because the book is ridiculously confusing for someone who's just getting into board gaming and trying to figure that stuff out. So we played it, we had fun with it, but we played it all wrong. And so, because we couldn't get a group back together, I boxed it up, put it in my cupboard, and everyone was saying Gloomhaven's great, Gloomhaven's great. And it's like, I'm sure it's fantastic. I would love to play with people, but I can't get a group together consistently to play it. So then there was the announcement that came out for Jaws of the Lion years later, and I was like, 1 to 4 players, okay, cool, and it's a easier barrier to entry to Gloomhaven. Even better, you're speaking my language. And so I went out, got my copy early, and played it, and I was like, which is on the channel, and I loved it. It was amazing. Leonard and Cody, Leonard the MVP, but Leonard and Cody helped take me through all the scenarios on my track to complete it out. And then after I finished that, I was like, this is awesome. Gloomhaven has to be this or better, and it hasn't disappointed. It's right on par with it. There's a little bit more to it. I will get to that one in a second, Hans. There's a little bit more to it, but I am loving Gloomhaven. So Hans asked a pretty cool question, which I will be happy enough to answer. Let's paste that up here for y'all to see. Like I said, it's kind of janky how I'm doing the thing, but Hans says, where does the name Canje Studios come from? All right, so let's get into some history. So, actually, I come with visuals today. I come with visuals to class. So, here's the US where not everybody's from, because we've got our lovely, lovely friends that are all the way over here in Australia that I love so much. And we've got a couple friends that are up here in Europe, in the UK, and a lot in Canada. But here's the US. I live here in North Carolina, but if you look all the way down here, it's this lovely country called Guyana. This is where I'm from. This is where I was born, in South America, Guyana, in this lovely port town and the capital called Georgetown. That's where I'm from. Now, Canje comes from the country bird of Guyana, which is the Canje pheasant. Or the Hiwatsan is what they're called. But that is where Canje comes from, because I'm representing where I'm from and where I was born. So Canje Studios is just kind of born off of that. Studios I just tacked on to the end just to say, hey, professional, quote unquote, but I'm not. I'm really not. just one guy doing his thing. But that's where it came from, because that's where I come from. And that is the story of Canje Studios and how it came to be and all that good stuff. But good question. Very good question. Let's see. I What else do we have? Yeah, I was hoping somebody was gonna ask that because I'd like to say where my origins are, and Guyana's we're even though we're the only country that is English speaking, the only English speaking colony, British colony in all of South America. So, but all of our roots trail from the Caribbean. So we have basically the Caribbean ends in Georgetown, and so all these islands, all the islands that are there, we have heavy influences from there. So accent heavy. But I know you're like, well, I don't hear an accent on you. Oh, yeah. Family? Yes. I have family that still lives there. I have family that lives all, but since we moved over to the U.S., yes, Suriname speaks Dutch. That is correct. Since we moved from the U.S., sorry, from Guyana to the U.S., we've kind of my family as we've stayed together because we were kids, and then we kind of just scattered. I have family all over the U.S. Oh, you speak Dutch? Awesome, Hans. I really wish I could. I speak like very little Spanish and very little Spanish. So if you start a conversation with me, I'm gonna be lost. But very little Spanish and mainly English is my main language. Um, Also, there's another game that's going to be premiering on this channel, and I want to thank Hans for that. Hans won a contest where he won the game Tapestry, but shipping and what it was just going to be too crazy. So he was like, hey, would you like to get Tapestry? And I was like, sure, because I've been wanting to play that game for a little while. And he sent it over. So thank you so much, Hans. I appreciate it. And it will be making an appearance on the channel as well in the future. So, hey, Tapestry. You speak Dutch. That is awesome. I yeah, but my family, I come from a very big family. And some people say big families are oh, you got four siblings. No, I'm the last of seven. So I have seven siblings, and yeah, I am the baby of the seven, and we all have different interests. I'm the only board gamer of all of us. So um let's see. What also, I know one question that I was asked before was what got me into board gaming. I've never really been big on board gaming growing up. I played Hero Quest, but it was like one of those things that you bought at Kmart, or I can't remember the name of the other store. That's Macy's, right? Where they sold toys, and Toys R Us, and they sold these different board games, but they were all family-based board games. The Hero Quest was on the shelf. So we bought Hero Quest. I played it. I loved it, but I was like, okay, that was a cool game, but they have never made another game like this. This is my silliness talking. They had never made a game like this, so what am I gonna play? And so I was like, well, there's Monopoly. There's Candyland. No. There's Mousetrap. Blah. So I moved away from board games, and I was a big sports guy. I got into sports and stuff like that and had fun playing it. Um, it wasn't until later in life, when I actually moved to North Carolina, that a coworker of mine was like, hey, do you want to play a board game? I was like, I don't want to play Monopoly, dude. And he was like, pump the brakes, slow your roll, you're talking trash. So he went and he got this game and he brought it out, and it was a deck building game. And so I played it and I loved it to death. The game was Ascension. And I was like, it's a lot of fun. He's like, okay, let me show you all these other games. So he showed me his collection of different games that he had, like Warriors, Dark Souls, the board game. He had all these other ones. So I was like, okay, these seem cool, and these seems to be something that I would like. So I purchased, my first purchase was, what was my first purchase? I'm trying to remember. I think my first purchase was Arkham Horror, the card game. And I played one playthrough of that with some friends, and that was a lot of fun. And then I found Kickstarter, and the rest is history. Rory asks, favorite all-time top 5 games. Number 5, I'll tell you, well, you should already know what my number 1 is, but I'll tell you anyway. My number 5 so far, all-time top 5 games. They're, boy, it'll make me scratch my beard on that one. Number 5 would have to be Arkham Horror the card game. It's number 5 right now on my list of top because I like the variety in it. It was really weird to get into at first. Kate, who is one of my Patreons and subscribers, and Kate, you're awesome. She helped me understand the game because I was like, there's a lot going on here. And I read the rules and I came up with some questions from it like, okay, but what if this? And the rules didn't have it. And then they had that rule that was like, well, if it's going to suck for you, that's just the way to go. And I was like, no, I'm not going to enjoy this game at all. But she helped me get through some of it, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that enough that made me get back into the game, and I really enjoyed it. So number 5 to me would have to be Arkham Horror the card game. Number 4 is Mansions of Madness. It is it's not app driven, but it is because you need the app to kind of walk through what you want to do, but you can play it without. I've seen rules of people doing it. I just don't recommend it. So number 4 for me would be Mansions of Madness. Going through the Cthulhian part of things to try to find out what's going on and solve this riddle or get this clue and do all this. I really enjoyed that game when I played it. So number 4 for me, Mansions of Madness. Number 3 is a tough one. Number 3, I've got a tie. Number 3, I've got a tie. The first one is Terraforming Mars. It is such a fun game to play. Like, whether you're playing it solo or you're playing with friends, and I've only played the game with friends. I've played it because one of my friends, he bought the game, so we were playing at his place, and he laid out the board and taught us how to play, and I played the game, loved it, and then after the pandemic started, we couldn't meet to play those games, so we started playing on Tabletop Simulator, and I still loved it. The strategy that goes into it, you can play this game and never play the same game twice, because you could decide to pick up pets, or you could decide to go for microbes, or you can go for more planetary things. You can worry about doing Venus next and try to get Venus up to being habitable. It's just so many different things that you can do. And when people look at it, they might think, whoa, that is a lot. So no, but if you get into the game, it's a lot of fun. So that's part 1 of number 3. Part 2 of number 3 is I'm gonna probably say I pull at it, but I'm probably gonna say part 2 of number 3 is Nemesis. I played a game of Nemesis where you knew who the bad guy was. And Nemesis is a game where the aliens are coming at you. You're either working together or you're not. And if you're working, if you get these objectives, there's the corporate objective, and then there is your objective, and you pick one, right? The corporate objective could be something like destroy the ship, or it could be get somebody infected by an alien and put them in stasis, or it could be player 3 can't live at the end of the game, or kill all players. Your objective is just kind of get to Earth, get to Mars, fix the engines, kill an alien, and you get to choose which one you want to do halfway through the game. And if you say, okay, well, you're going to be a corporate stooge and play that game, then you've got to deal with you gotta take steps to make things happen. I played this game where this guy, we knew he was the bad guy. We knew it. Everything he was doing was shady. But it was so much fun because we didn't know what he was going to do next. Like everything he did, it was just like, okay, what, we know you're the bad guy. We have to get to you. We have to get rid of you somehow. But every turn he played, he was just pure genius. He was taking us out left and right. So no, Nemesis would not fit on my recording table. Not even a little bit. I have Nemesis, the base game, but and I did order the Kickstarter for the new Nemesis game coming out, where you're underground on a planet. So that I'm actually going to try to make Nemesis fit on my table. I think it's possible because I do have the solo scenarios. Thank you so much to so many good people for helping me out with that. But I will be playing it somehow, and we'll go through the solo scenarios and have some fun with it. Let's see. Number two on my list is Gloomhaven. Cause Gloomhaven. So, I believe it was Mike. Mike got me the rule book for Gloomhaven. Not for Gloomhaven, for Nemesis. Yes, he did. Mike got me the solo scenario for Nemesis, and thanks to him, I'll be playing the solo scenario at some point. Maybe when I get a bigger table if it doesn't fit, or if it fits on that small tiny table. Let's see, what else? Number 2, Gloomhaven, because Gloomhaven's awesome. Number 1 is Gloom and Kill Forth. And people would be shocked by that, but I told the story a few times. Gloom and Kill Forth came along, and I played that game at a rough time in my life, right? My father had passed, and I was completely down and out, stressed and depressed. And it was one of the very kindest, nicest people on Facebook just kind of said, hey, you know, you enjoy playing board games, just play something, play a game, play Gloom and Kill Forth. It's a solo game. And I played it, and it made me forget for a second, and that let me feel better. And so I kept, it kind of snapped and made that connection and memory in my brain of helping me get through it and being able to talk to people about it and, you know, moving on. And so Gloom and Kill Forth is my number 1 jam because of that. It had a heavy impact on me personally, so therefore it's my number 1. Not also to mention that the game is fun. It's stressful. My dice rolls, for anyone who's on here who knows about my dice rolls, is utter trash. and so playing that game, rolling dice to try to save my life is fun, and you know, you have to laugh at yourself because otherwise you'll cry. It's just so much fun to play through all of it, try to get good, try to be worth it, and then just crashing and burning like crazy when I roll as terrible as I do. If you've watched the Gloom and Kill Forth or Shadow and Kill Forth streams, if you watch any game I play where I roll dice, even Role Player, which is my honorable mention, Role Player is awesome, by the way. Even if you watch that game, it's just hilarious when you see how badly I rolled. I think I'm cursed. And I say, and the funny thing that I always say to everyone is, I roll poorly, so you can all roll nat 20s every time you roll the dice. And that's just kind of what I go with. I have to believe that, right? Because you're all rolling high, and it would be great. So that's my top 5 all-time games, but I am just getting into the hobby. I have not played nearly as much games as the more well-known YouTube content creators and board game content creators out there. They've played way more than me, so they can run off a countless list of the things that they like. But as of right now, this instant, those are my top 5.5 favorite games of all time. I'd probably say that's it. Let's see. What else we got? Yeah, so what other questions can I answer for you that you'd be curious to know? Oh, let me know. What what games do you all enjoy doing, by the way? I mean, you enjoy, what is the game you're most looking forward to? The game that I'm most looking, okay, so Hans asked, what is the game I'm most looking forward to? The game I'm most looking forward to, Oathsworn, Into the Deepwood. So there's not a lot of games that come along where I'm like, that game is going to be amazing. That game's just going to blow the brakes off of everything. And I didn't even say that for Jaws of the Lion. I didn't say it for any of the games that I've seen so far. But when I look at Oathsworn and I watch the videos and I do the research and I check out the guys and girls who have done tons of work on it, and I watched a stream that the sculptor did. This is a guy who's been in the industry and he knows how this stuff works, so he knows exactly how to set these things up. And when I watched him talk about it and talk about Hips plastic and all these other items that are on there and what he's putting towards this, the more they talked about it, the more I enjoyed it. And when I watched on tabletop, when I watched them play, when I watched Rob, not Rob's gaming table, the other Rob, when I watched him have a full 3-hour, I think, session playing with the Broodmother, I have not looked at any other minis for that game, but because they were like spoilers. If you want to look at them, you can look at them that way. I didn't look at any of them, and I was like, this game is going to be legendary, and I'm willing to put it all on that, man. I know this game's going to be good, so I'm excited for that. That's the game I'm most excited for. Followed by that is Frosthaven. Gloomhaven is your number one? Yeah, Gloomhaven's fun. I understand why it's number one. And there's a thing that comes with being a good game, right? A lot of people hate on you when you're in the number one spot. There's and not saying anything's wrong with people have their own reasons on why they don't like things, and that's fair. That's plausible and that's good. A lot of people give it a lot of hardship because it's too much to set up. There's too much bookkeeping. Those are the two arguments I've heard. Let's see. Can't get a group. Back to Oathsworn also. That's awesome. They say things like they can't get a group together to play the board game. I can't either, but I'm playing it solo, right? A lot of people kind of say, these are the barriers to entry. It's not that the game's bad. These are just their barriers to entry. Jaws of the Lion kind of takes away a lot of that, even though there is bookkeeping, but there's apps out there that deals with bookkeeping, and that also lessened that barrier. So I think there's a way to make that work, right? There's a way to get into it, but then not counting those people who have the actual valid reasons why they don't want to do it, or some might just be like, I don't like it, I don't want to play it, the end. That's perfectly fine. So minus the people who feel that way, then there's the pool of haters, right? There's always going to be haters. There's someone who's like, hey, it's the number one game since 2017. Okay, boo, I hate it. There are people that do that, and okay, to each their own. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but I enjoy it. I think it's a good game. It's a good number one slot game. Until Oathsworn comes out, then that's going to be number one. I'm just kidding. Well, I think it's going to be number one because it just looks amazing. It's a lot of people always, there's a lot of discussions I've seen that said that, okay, this game is the Gloomhaven killer, and I think Kingdom Death Monster was touted to push up to number one. Well, it came out before Gloomhaven, I think. I don't. I gotta look that up. Gloomhaven came out in. Kingdom Death Monster came out in 2015. So its first release came out in 2015. So if Kingdom Death came out before Gloomhaven, then Kingdom Death was probably pushing up the list and rising the charts and being at number one, and then Gloomhaven came and took it out. But people have also said a lot of things like these other games are going to dethrone Gloomhaven, and they haven't. And I'm just being optimistic by saying Oathsworn's just that good. It's got to. I remember a lot of hate come from Pandemic Legacy lovers because they were no longer number one. Yeah, Pandemic did hit the number one slot. You're right, Dragon. Pandemic hit the number one slot. And I've played Pandemic, but not Pandemic Legacy. But I've heard nothing but good things about Pandemic Legacy. And when it fell out of the number one slot, there was some people that were kind of salty about it. They had the salt on the elbow, just kind of rubbing it down. But they're all good games. Well, maybe it's just number one. The majority of people enjoy it, so therefore it's the number one slot. Kingdom Death is a game that I would love to play. I cannot justify paying $400 for one board game. No. Let me change that. I took a look at my Kickstarters last year, which should be delivering either this year or due to the pandemic next year. I took a look at my Kickstarters, and the game Ether Fields was the most expensive Kickstarter that I had ever backed. And it's the most expensive because I got everything. I got the expansion content. I got the player mat. I got the stupid art book. I just got it all, right? And so, yeah, Rory, that's exactly what I'm getting at. So I got the base game. I got expansions, plural. And I got all the FOMO content that, people who are on Kickstarter get. So I got all that stuff. And a lot of people, and rightfully so, they're like, you don't need it. You really don't. But I got it. And that totaled up about $370 something, I believe. If my math might be off, but it's about 370, upper 300. And that's the most I've played for a board game. But that board game came with expansions. That board game came with FOMO content and all this other stuff. So I get a large swath of stuff to play. Kingdom Death Monster is just a base box for $400. And the base box comes with some beautiful miniatures that you have to put together. But beautiful miniatures. It comes with a whole slew of game in one box. Miniatures, everything, gorgeous, wonderful. But it's just the core game. If I want to get more, I have to spend an upwards of thousands almost of dollars to get everything. And I can't do that for one board game. I can do that for multiple board games. If you tally up all my Kickstarters, they probably equal on par with KDM. Yeah, I have not watched the unboxing of Ether Fields. I've stayed away from it because I want to... I know enough about the game from the Kickstarter. I know nothing else. And the Kickstarter was enough to draw me in, right? I watched everything they released. I think Rolling Solo, Adam Smith, I think either him or Michael Kelly on One Stop Co-op Shop either one of them did a playthrough of Ether Fields and I watched a little bit of it, and it made me even more interested in the games. And Awakened Realms is a company that makes some really good games, so I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be fun. I think that's going to be a good game. I have a question for you all. So, what type of content, like when it comes to content creation, what's your expectation, right? Whenever we do these playthroughs, and if it's rookie me, I just started. I'm low on the totem pole, but from me or one of those, one of the well knowns, Rob, Adam Smith, Mike from One Stop Co-op Shop, King of Average, just all these people who talk about board games or play them. What is your expectation of them? Like, what's the draw? What's your expectation of what they do? Like, is it that they play the game and have fun? Is it that they know everything about the rules? Because I don't. I have messed up on rules so many times, but I make sure to say, hey, I messed this up, and hey, thank you for pointing it out, and go from there. But is that the draw, or is it just more, if the person aligns with, kind of what you enjoy playing, that type of deal? Like, what's your preference? So while you're answering that, let me see if I can answer another question. Let's see. Good choice. Facto Sworn also. Yep. Oh, Sworn's gonna be fun. It's gonna be so much fun. And what's interesting though is that there was this other company that I think it's their first board game, but they're creating Primal the Awakening. Let me see if I can remember. There, am I back? I probably hit the wrong thing. There you go. If I got Reggie Games wrong and they've released tons more content, I'm sorry. I know nothing about you past this game. And I am excited about Primal the Awakening. I think this game is going to be amazing. It's basically, I can't read lips. You gotta learn to read. I have to just be like, and then you'd be able to read it, right? Let's see. We got. I think Primal the Awakening is going to be a great game. It's Monster Hunter. It's at its heart. It's Monster Hunter. You kill you go out on a hunt. You kill the monster. You harvest its body. Make armor for yourself. You go kill another monster. I mean, you can't beat that. It's just fun. Kind of sad if you think about it, but fun. Watch the. Let's see. I started watching mainly to learn to play to reinforce rules, then other play styles and how they resolve a game turn. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's. I think I watch for when I watch other streamers. It's for the community. All right. I enjoy interacting with the community, like just laughing with you all, talking with you all. I enjoy that stuff. And so I watch live streams for that. So anyone who's doing a live stream, including myself, if we're talking and chatting while I'm playing or someone else is playing and we're just laughing and having a good time, I love that so much, and it makes me be happy to be part of the community because the community is amazing as it is. When it comes to watching pre-recordeds, yeah, when it comes to watching like pre-recorded content, I think I agree with you, Dragon, in terms of rule reinforcement, play styles, but it also shows me games that I've never heard of before. I'm gonna go into my hashtag Robin Mel made me buy, because I've played the video game This War of Mine. I've never played the board game. I watched a board game from Colin of One Stop Coffee Shop and said, "This game looks amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it." And then I watched a playthrough on Rob's gaming table, and I was like, Amazon, This War of Mine, sold. So the game looks really good, and I really want to play it. So when I watch those other channels, or I watch Shut Up and Sit Down, they make me Shut Up and Sit Down makes me laugh because they are so silly. Is it Quentin and Matt? And they make me laugh so much, so I enjoy watching them. But I watch all the other ones to figure out what games to get next or to play. Ooh, some bug flying around. Let's see. For live stream or grid community, I love to see how somebody else is playing games, which I love. Learn how it is played. Yeah, how it's played is watching how it's played and watching people who go through just explaining stuff. Rodney Smith is responsible for me buying Dead of Winter. He was the second YouTuber that I found that did board gaming. The first was One Stop Co-op Shop. He was the second YouTuber that I watched, and he taught me how to play Dead of Winter. I bought Dead of Winter. He taught me how to play Mysterium. I bought Mysterium. And so I bought those games because of watching people play them and seeing how much fun they are just to play. And recently, since because of the pandemic, well, even before then, I've found that I've had to start playing some games solo and rolling solo. So I watched them play those games, and I watched Adam Smith play those games, and I enjoyed how he played. I mean, it was fun. You keep it real and are not afraid to make mistakes, and you learn as you go. Yeah, I that's the thing. I am far from perfect. I am wrong a lot, and that's okay. It's okay because once I find out I'm wrong, I learn from it, right? It's not like I keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over again. I watch how I read the rule book. I promise you I do. I watch a couple playthroughs, and then I play the game. And if I get a rule wrong, someone's like, "Hey, you got a rule wrong." I don't say, I quit. No, it's more, "Oh, cool." And then I go back and I learn from that, and I augment, I play, and I play. And I have a lot of fun doing it. So I definitely enjoy it. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We learn from them, and we keep on trucking, I guess. But yeah, thank you. That's very, very kind. Let's see. I think like there's certain games that I've played where, or I've watched played where I was like, that game might not be for me. But I definitely respect that, everybody's got different tastes. Everybody would like the different games, right? I'm trying to think what else. I got which is super exciting. It just came to mind. Oh my gosh. So my delivery of Folklore, The Fall of the Spire was delivered today. I go pick it up pick it up from the mail office later on this evening because you guys are more important and I want to talk to y'all and have a good time. But it came in today, and I am insanely excited to play Folklore. I've played 2 of the scenarios of Folklore, and I love it. It's great. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. You get to play a madman, right? And the cool thing about the madman, right, is when you kill a monster, you can throw its corpse at another monster. Who doesn't want that? But I think it's really fun. It's set in Folklore: The Affliction is set in a dark fantasy setting where you start off at a church and you have to get to Osterlink, I believe is what it is. Wegmans in North Carolina. Wegmans? What is this, Rory? What is this Wedgman's that you speak of? Wedgman's. A food market? Yeah, this is a grocery store. Oh, it's in Raleigh. Yeah, it's in Raleigh. That's why. Can we ask random questions? Sure. Yes, Keith, you can ask random questions. Ask me anything. This is an AMA. Wedgman's, the grocery store. It's the Disney World of grocery stores. Really? I will have to look into Wedgman's. I've never heard of it. I really have never heard of it. There's a North Carolina branch. I'm just kind of clicking around looking and seeing if there's one in Charlotte. Nope, it's only in Raleigh or West Cary. Next time I'm in Raleigh's about 2 hours from here, give or take. So next time I'm in Raleigh, I'll go check it out. Really? Okay. All right. It seems like okay. Is water wet? Thank you, Keith. Thank you for heckling. So Keith and I, we were building one in Chapel Hill. Oh, really? Cool. Yeah, if they build one in Charlotte, that'll be fun. Keith and I used to work together before he became a rich man and moved on to bigger and better things. But I miss him, man. He used to give me some good laughs, and we always used to work really well together. So Keith, I miss you, dude. I hope all is good where you are, for sure. Hey, Steven. Keith is the foremost expert. He is the expert. It might do that opening. So get too many votes so we could play. Hey, I'm down for it. What's funny, so this year, I've always been going to Dragon Con in Atlanta. I've been there 5 years in a row. Since 5 years ago, right? Well, 4 years now. But I've been there 5 times, and that was my go-to spot. And Dragon Con is kind of like that all thing, actors, movie actors, stuff like that's there. And then they have the shopping mart, which is amazing. It's 6 floors of merch for you to buy. 6 full floors of a shopping mart for you to buy stuff on. But they have the board gaming hall, which is one floor of a large room. I mean, it's a big room, but half of that room is filled with Magic the Gathering. The other half is filled with what's the name of the game that was made by Garfield that's like Magic the Gathering, but you have to play with the decks. You can only play with the with one deck, and it's by Fantasy Flight Games. I can't remember the name of that game. It's gone out of my head. But it was Keyforge. Thank you, Steven. Keyforge. It was half of it's filled with Magic the Gathering and Keyforge competition, and then half of what's left is kind of like people sitting down and just kind of taking a breather from walking around all of downtown Atlanta for Dragon Con. And then the rest of it, the other half of that, is where the board games are being played. And there are a lot of board games there. There's like you can give money, you pay in reserve and you could get any amount of games that you want. And you play the games with your friends and then bring them back. And they do have some really cool exclusive titles, but it wasn't that big. So me being new to the hobby, I ask, what am I supposed to do if I want to go to a board game convention? Where is a board game convention? Do they not have them, or is board game kind of like that niche product? And the same guy who was like, dude, pump the brakes, shut your mouth, hold on, told me about Gen Con. And so this year, was going to be my first ever go to Gen Con, but then the pandemic happened and that was out the window. So I understand convention life, and I want to go to Gen Con to experience the board game madness. I think they said the biggest one though is Essen, right? So it and that's over in Spiel, Germany. So maybe one day, but right now I'll stick with Gen Con and go to that. Serious question. What's your favorite board game for a family? Like a good way to incorporate kids, but not just your basic kiddie board games like Snakes and Ladders, something with a story. Um, a good game for introduction, especially with kids. Ooh, there's a lot of them. There is Stuff Fables, which is a good game. You play out of a book, and it tells the story of a little child kind of coping with real world stuff. The first book is kind of she's moving from the crib to the big kid bed, and you play her stuffed animals that are protecting her from monsters and whatnot. That's a good game for kids to get into. It's a lot of fun. You can have fun with that. Oh, Essing got canceled. Let's see. What else is a good kids game? I would probably say I gotta look at my list of stuff. Let me look at my list because I got a list of things and I can tell you what's good. My collection. I'm looking through my collection on Board Game Geek to see what I got because I have stuff specifically to help with 5 Minute Dungeon. Hey Kate, how you doing? 5 Minute Dungeon is a good game for kids. It's short, it's sweet, it's quick. It take every so the game every round, every monster takes 5 minutes, and basically what you do is you have this boss that you battle. You have these deck of cards that you put on top of the boss, and then you flip the cards, and it's just matching. That's all it is. It's just matching. You have to be strong. You have to, you have to be quick. Those types of things. 5 Minute Dungeon I would recommend for any kid and a great entry game. Another great entry game because now my brain's fully engaged. Ticket to Ride. If you want a really cool game for the family, Ticket to Ride's the game. It's timeless, and you could buy it anywhere. You could buy it in Walmart. You could buy it in anywhere because it's such a big game. And it comes with a lot, and it's a lot of fun. Let's see. What's another good one? Castle Panic. Castle Panic is a good one. I recommend Castle Panic for kids because it's basically you have this radius that monsters are coming in, and all you're doing is just throwing down cards to kill them. And once again, it's matching, but it's fun. I would recommend that for kids. Just to start off, King of Tokyo. I would recommend King of Tokyo for kids to start off. My son played King of Tokyo, and he loved it. He played it actually, Keith, when we were in the old office, and he won. And so he still talks about the day that he beat everyone at King of Tokyo. It's such a fantastic game to play, and it's a really great barrier to entry. I would also probably say Role Player. Role Player is a good entry game. Just the base game is good for people who've never played the game. Yeah, I'd say so too, Sakabra. The base game, Role Player, the base game is great if you've never played it before because all you're doing is rolling dice. And then from there, I'd probably say get the Monsters and Minions expansion. So now you're like, okay, I'm rolling dice, but now I can fight something while I'm rolling dice. And it's fun. It's a lot. Azul, oh my god, Azul is amazing. Azul is a good game. But yeah, those would be my picks for kids games. All right, people came in, which is super. I'm excited about it, and they're asking me stuff, which is great. Steven asks, what is your favorite game mechanic? Whew, Steven, you came with the hard one. My favorite game mechanic. Um, that is a tough question. Wow. The one that I like so far is the one that that you and I are alpha testing right now. That's probably a mechanic that I really enjoy because it makes you think. I think game mechanics that give you multiple options to where if you want to try a different mechanic, you'll get a different outcome, but you can still get to victory. Anything like that, I enjoy. I'm all about it. And I think the reason why I'm saying the one is because I can't talk about it, right? So the one that we're running through, I would probably say, um, that game mechanic is fun. That game mechanic is a lot of fun. The of games that I've played, the best game mechanic, Gloomhaven. I'd say Gloomhaven. The card flips. I'm a terrible dice roller. I'm a horrible, horrible dice roller. So, yeah. Gloomhaven with card flips, and Oathsworn, which has card flips or dice rolling, your choice. Which, which one I'm going for every single time. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see what do we got here. Got people coming in. I'm so happy. Yay! Hey, Nathan, Kate. Let's see. Forgotten Island was stressful for me. I would hate to influence the kids on a negative way with my competitive spirit. Yeah, I remember when we played that. So funny enough, when we worked together, one of the things that I would do is every Friday we would have a team building session to where I'd bring a board game and we'd play. And I brought Forbidden Island, and we team built. we died, but we team built. And then I got Forbidden Desert, and we died. So we played a lot of like team building games. We played Concept, which was a really fun game. If you've never heard of Concept, it's an odd game. It's charades without the charades, right? You have stuff on the board that you point to try to say what the word is, but it's a different view of charades, basically. Let's see. King in Tokyo is a great game. We always play that with her. Yeah. Stone Age. Sakabra, I've never played Stone Age. I'd love to know. I need to look at that one. Catan's a good game. Carcassonne's a good game. Yes, indeed. Dragon Realm, I've never heard of that one. I'll have to look that up, Nathan. Yeah, let's work related. This is a real player, Sagrada. I looked at Sagrada recently, and Sagrada looks like a lot of fun. Let's see. Space Base, Sakabra, I haven't heard of that one. I have to look up. See, I'm new, so I'm learning, right? I haven't been into board gaming for a while. Tiny Towns is fun. I played Tiny Towns once. And as soon as the funny thing about those games where you play once and then at the end you're like, oh, I get it. I could have done this. That's what happened with me in Tiny Towns. And then I haven't had a chance to play it again. Keep going, Kickstarter. You want some games? Go on Kickstarter. Let's see. Aeon's End is good. Aeon's End is a lot of fun. I've played a lot of Aeon's End. That was one of my friends who owns. He's collected all of Aeon's End, and he had to actually create these different cases that held that could hold all the cards and stuff from Aeon's End. He's got it all. And so I remember them saying when Outcasts was announced on Kickstarter, he was like, good grief, will they stop? But he ordered it anyway. Aeon's End is fantastic. I've played that game probably 15 times. I've won that game. We've won that game 4 times that we've played 15. So Aeon's End it's fun, but it's challenging. You have to really think about what you want to do and work as a team or you will lose. Let's see. What else we got here? The Mighty Sakabra. I might know the answer to this one. My answer is space adventure. But what is your favorite theme setting? Funny enough, funny enough, my actual favorite theme setting is space. I love fantasy. I play D&D. I am a DM, so with my dice rolls, they win a lot, right? But I play D&D, and I love the fantasy realm. I love being able to go through all that stuff and having, um, and just kind of exploring and seeing the world that someone's created. But I'm a space nerd. I actually worked at Kennedy Space Center. I watch shuttle launches and all this other stuff, and like I said, I love space. So space is my favorite setting. I just can't get into games. There's only one game I've seen, which I'm playing next week, that has interested me about a space game. I haven't found one I liked yet. I looked at Twilight Imperium, and I understand why people love it so vehemently. I understand it. It just didn't call to me. I'm on the hunt for a really good. I love terraforming Mars space, right? I'm on the hunt for a really good solo space-based adventure game. And when I say adventure game, I'm talking about story. I want lore. I want like Gloomhaven type lore on a space scale. That's what I'm looking for. Let me see, what do we got? I got my hands on Outcast, but will be January earliest. Or yeah, I heard it. I heard there were some delays. Oh, but you can play on. Yep. What does Canje mean? Sakabra. I will be more than happy to go through it because I love telling people about where I'm from. So let me find the map and let us go. Once again, for people just joining who wants to know what Canje means, let's go on an adventure, shall we? Stay a while and listen. Let's go to a map. So here's a map of the US for everyone that's there. Here's a map of Canada, where my lovely, lovely friends are. A map of Europe, where my lovely, lovely friends are. A map of Australia, where my lovely, lovely friends are. And China, Asia, Africa, the continent, but if we come over here to South America, so here I am in North Carolina. That's me in Charlotte. I don't care if y'all know I live in Charlotte. Yes, I live in Charlotte. But if you go past the Caribbean down to South America, you come to this country here. This one here. This is where I'm from. This is where I was born, Guyana. And I was born right here in Georgetown. And so Canje comes from the country's bird, which is the Canje pheasant. It's called by ornithologists, it's called a hoatzin, but in Guyana, it's the Canje pheasant. And so Canje comes from this bird. And if you look on like my YouTube page, you'll see like a bird rolling dice. That's this bird. So this is where Canje comes from, and that's what a Canje is. It's a Canje pheasant from my native country. So yeah, that's where I'm from, and that's where Canje comes from. Then I had tacked on studios because, you know, why not? Pah. Let's see. Okie dokie. So let's see what else we got. I may have bought Aeon Zen on Steam a couple weeks ago and already played 16 hours of it. Kate, I have thought about picking up Aeon Zen on Steam. I have not done it yet. I haven't done it yet because I know I'm gonna get hooked on it. I bought Ascension on Steam because I was like, I'm gonna be buying Ascension forever. Might as well buy the game on Steam. So yeah, I bought that, and I bought every single expansion on Steam for Ascension. I feel like if I do Aeon Zen, I'm gonna do the same thing. D&D is amazing. I'm a part of two groups. For D&D, I'm a part of two groups as well. I run one with my own story that I made up, and I am part of another where someone else runs it and I'm just playing it. And I thoroughly enjoy D&D. It's just such a fun release to be able to talk about anything. It's just relaxing. It's amazing. I want to play Lifeform but can't find it. Tristan needs to make more. I have all of Lifeform. I actually have the game and I want to play it, but I need to get with Mark Chaplin because the rules for Lifeform. So he even said that they're going to be doing another reprint. Mark Chaplin, who was the creator of the game, said that they're going to be doing another reprint soon, and they're going to be doing a updated rule book with it. But I want to play the game because how I watched Mark play the game, and it is fun. It's alien. I mean, it is, and it's so much fun. He put a lot of love into it. It's amazing. I want to play it, so I'm probably going to say, hey, Mark, do you want to get on the stream with me and teach me how to play Lifeform? And if he says yes, it'll be on stream. Pathfinder group is on a break due to COVID, but we're nearly down a 2-year campaign. Hey, my D&D one that I have going, I think we're at 3 years on ours too that we're going through. It looks like a lot of fun. Zoom. Yeah, we use Discord for ours whenever, well, we live in a completely different, we live all over, and so we get on Discord to kind of go through everything. You know a few people from Guyana. Nice. Hopefully they're all nice people. Let's see. Very cool. Call. When you moving back? I am not moving back. I'm not moving back. No. I'll go visit Guyana, but I have been Americanized. I enjoy the things that we all take for granted in first world, what we call for hashtag first world problems. I enjoy that stuff. So moving back, nah, I'm here to stay. Would you ever live stream D&D? Steven, I am actually going to be doing that for campaign 2. We're going to stream the D&D campaign for campaign 2, but that's probably a year or 2 down the line. I've already started writing out everything and build it. I've already built the world. I already have a map. I've already created characters and the story. Well, the skeleton of the story, because you create a story and then they decide to blow a roof up on their heads. Yes, my group did do that. So yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can talk them into live streaming, but I will be releasing we will be releasing the streams of the playthroughs. And if they're watching, we could do a live stream if you want. Let me see. Nemesis, if you have $1,000. Sakabra, I looked up the shipping fees for that and I was like, whoa, especially if it's going to ship to Canada, it's a lot. But let's see. I did back Nemesis. Which character do you play in your D&D? I'm a paladin, Asmar, and a minotaur wizard or mage. I am a tiefling barbarian named Psalm, and I'm very surly. Let's see. Joke, question, do not answer. Who's your favorite Twitch streamer? My favorite Twitch streamer would be you, Sakabra. What are you talking about? Now get out there and make me and do some Too Many Bones playthroughs that I can join you on Twitch and watch you play, man. Let's see. Woohoo, I play a halfling paladin. Have you ever gotten into Mage Knight? And if so, would you consider a stream? I do not have Mage Knight. I heard through the grapevine, wink wink, that Mage Knight is the #1 solo board game to play. It has a lot of decisions to be made. There is so many avenues and paths that you can do to play this game, and there's a huge community that that said that love Mage Knight. I worry that because the community, I worry about that because if I get the game, and you know me, I play the game just like we all would. I don't play 30 different playthroughs before I play the game. I just play it, right? If I mess up something, I would be nervous that they would like mob me to death. So I want to play it, but I think I have some other games in the pipe before I play Mage Knight, but I do want to play it. Let's see what do we got. I just bought too many bones. Steven, don't get Rory started on too many bones because he's trying to make me buy it. He's like, Canje, buy too many bones and play it. And I'm like, I will buy it just next year. Next year's too many bones. I said no, do not answer. What I had to do, Hans, it started at work actually. So D&D is the same thing for me like board games. I got into it later in life. But when I got into playing D&D, it was fun. I was able to talk with I was able to I think the first time I played D&D, I DM'd. That was the first time I ever played D&D, and it was at work. It was fun. I enjoyed it, got hooked. But because of life and times and stuff like that, the group disbanded at work. And I wanted to play again. And so I went on Roll20. And for those who don't know, Roll20 is a D&D. It is a role-playing based application that you can get on and play with anybody anywhere. And I got on that. I put out saying, hey, who wants to play? And I got a group that wants to play, and they are amazing and awesome, and I love them so much. Let's see. Have to. Oh, sorry, I missed a piece. Wait for all my stuff to arrive, but I can do undertow splicing nice. Do undertow splicing, Sakabra. If you play it, I will be there. Because I was asking you the other time, I was like, hey, when are you streaming again? Because I want to come watch you play. You're teaching me how to play Too Many Bones. Half today filled. You would love it. Not at all. Very good mage community. Oh, it's a good mage community? Okay. Cool. Yeah, I always worry that I watched Rob play and I came in late in the stream. This is Rob from Rob's Gaming Table. I watched him play and I was confused. I was like, but the chat was filling full of like, hey, do this, play this card, do this other stuff, play this other thing. And I was like, close. I will watch it later, which I never got around to do it. I like watching his live streams live because I like interacting with him and Mel and you guys and the community who that he's cultivated over there, and I love talking with you all. So I love watching live ones. Have you ever tried Legends of Andor? I've never heard of Legends of Andor. So let's go look at Legends of Andor. Simple. Best played 4-player. I could play any 4-player game 1-player as long as there's a 1-player community to it. You know, I have heard of this game. Colin from One Stop Co-op Shop did a playthrough of this recently, and it looked fun. It looked like a lot of fun. I remember this now. I said I was going to continue looking at his playthrough to see if it piqued my interest. And it was starting to, but I had to run off and do some other stuff. But I do want to get back to it. It does look like a lot of fun. When are we going to see Couch of Death? Ooh, Steven, Couch of Death? So, for people who don't know, Shadows of Kelforth is a game that was created by Tristan Hall and Hall or Nothing Productions. And it is an amazing game. I will always #1 game, right? Gloom and Shadows of Kelforth. Those are my #1 game. It's a card-based game. There's no minis unless you bring a mini to it. But it's a card-based game that lines out the board for you. In the center is the Sprawl City or the Mona Hebuba Shrine. Yes, I said it like that because I can never get it right. But that's where you can buy stuff, do all these good things, rest, just live a normal life. And in Couch of Death, you don't have that. the couch is there, and you can't perform market actions. You just suffer. And so, whew, with my dice rolls, you know what, Steven? I will do one. Not anytime soon because I have a full queue lined up of games that I need to set time for to stream. But as I make it through, I'm gonna plop it in somewhere, and we'll do a Couch of Death Shadows of Kill Forth run, and probably not find the Outcast card. Roll20 is great. I joined Roll20 a year ago, but never did anything after signing up. Roll20 is fun. That's what I primarily use when I'm playing D&D. And I did. Did you? When? No, you didn't. Because you said you were going to see if you did, Sakabra, and you never posted that you were going to do it. Usually you post like, hey, I'm about to go live. And that's when I hop on. Simplistically easier than Gloomhaven to learn. Really? Okay, I'll have to look into that, Rory. Legends of Andor, is that the Ewok village? They have an Ewok village on there? I mean, that just has to be played. Yeah, I remember this game, and I remember it, like, when Colin did it, it looked like a lot of fun. Canje made me buy Shadows of Kill Forth. I don't have a made me buy, but it's a fun game. You will enjoy Shadows of Kill Forth a lot. I think it's harder than Gloom of Kill Forth, but in a fun way. Especially with what that Titan, like that big Titan monster that you just can't kill. I don't know if anyone ever has. So I need to make a space Gloomhaven like game that isn't a cut and paste version. That's 5 ideas now. The worst part is you only have 3 HP and 3 AP to start. Yes. Oh. I'm not kidding at all. Boy, I tell you what. I promise you, Rory, I am getting too many bones. There's no doubt about it. I'm picking the game up. It's just I'm probably not gonna get it until there's like a little fly flying around. I'm probably not gonna get it until next year, and I definitely will pick it up. I will be picking that game up. It's just I've heard too many good things not to move on it. You know, Gargantuan, that's his name. I have a video in Tristan Hall's Facebook group of me beating him. It's legitimate. I ran into Gargantuan once. You know, you ever watch that movie Johnny Dangerously? You know, I ran into Gargantuan once. And that was it. Okay, favorite Halloween horror game. What's it called? House on Haunted Hill? House on Haunted Hill? Is that it? Betrayal at House on the Hill. That is a good Halloween game. That's the one that I've found that's my favorite that I have played so far. Betrayal at House on the Hill is my #1 right now. Problem is, Betrayal at House on the Hill is not a game that you can organize. Betrayal is not a game that you can play solo. It's just not there. However, Van Ryder Games has a game coming out that that is meant for you to play solo, and it's a horror game. Final Girl. I am all about Final Girl. I want to play that game. Van Ryder, if you hear me in the universe about and above, if you want someone to play Final Girl, I will play it because I watched the playthroughs of it, and I love it. The theming, fantastic. Old 80s and 90s horror movies on a board game. It's the greatest thing ever. Donkey's Age. Sakara, you're awesome, dude. Have you tried Betrayal Legacy? No, Kate, I haven't tried Betrayal Legacy yet. Like I was saying, I think Betrayal needs And Legacy might as well, but I think Betrayal needs more than one player, so I can never play it solo. And solo is my jam right now, probably forever. Let's see. I'm pulling it up on BGG. Yeah, it's 3 to 5 players for Betrayal Legacy. So, I mean, it's like, who's the betrayer? It's me. So I can never done a late pledge for Final Girl. Final Girl, I think is going to be so. Van Ryder Games created Hostage Negotiator, and half of you here already know what Hostage Negotiator is. But basically, it's a solo-only player game where you have to stop a. They don't call them a terrorist. I forgot what they call them. An abductor. You have to stop the abductor and save people. And I found that was a lot of like I saw a couple playthroughs of it from some of my favorite content creators, and I reached out to Van Ryder and I was like, hey, that game looks cool. Let's chat. And so they were like, hey, we think your content looks passable. They didn't say that. They said it looked good, but I say it looks passable. But they were like, you know, hey, we'll send you a copy of it and play it and stream it and enjoy it. And so that's what I'm playing tomorrow. I'm playing Hostage Negotiator, just the base game tomorrow, and going to play all that out. I think it's a great theme. I think it's fun. It looks like a lot of fun. I back Hell of the Last Saga, so I didn't back Final Girl, and I have other games on the way, so my wallet hurts. But listen, Steven. That sounds like homeless Steven's problem, right? Right now, you, Steven, you know, Steven with responsible, not responsible Steven needs to go ahead and buy Final Girl. I usually say that, like when someone's like, I can't afford that, you know, it's too much. It's the same thing I say. I can't afford that. That's too much right now. Your response should be, that's homeless Kanji's problem, right? Right now, you need to buy too many bones. Hell the Last Saga. So I looked at Hell the Last Saga. I don't know why it didn't call to me. It seems cool. I think that's the reason why I didn't back it. You'll have to tell me how it plays, Steven. I'm probably gonna have to live through you like when it comes, and then just be like, okay, I need to find this game, or okay, that game's not for me. But when I looked at the playthrough of it on the YouTube channel, the Kickstarter channel, I was like, but cool, but So because I was middle of the road, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna pull the trigger on it. But I hope it's good though. I really do, because I will pick it up if it's good. Betrayal does, and the Legacy works quite well with 5 players. They have some fun hidden stuff in that box. Betrayal plays solo? Really? Because when I looked on Board Game Geek, when I looked at Betrayal, it was saying that it was just 3 to 6 players. Yeah, and it said, do not play this game solo. It is not recommended. Maybe there's an augment. I don't know. Maybe. I honestly have to stop getting games. This year has been bananas from Kickstarters and such. Sakabra, you're not going to stop getting. Just like I'm not going to stop getting. I should stop getting games, but I'm not. Look down with shame. Me and the fam are going to be living in a van down by the river. Don't stop. Cabra, did you get the trove chest for Too Many Bones? Did you buy that? Oh, Kate. I'm already planning on. Kate, you gotta get Arkham Horror Innsmouth. You have to get it, because you have to teach me how to play it. So you gotta get it. Sorry. Let's see. Pandemic Legacy, Season 0. So Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. I've heard that mentioned twice, and every single time I hear it, I'm like, I need to look it up. And I've even written it down. It's written down on a sheet of paper, but then I never look it up. So, is it good? No, Betrayal needs at least 3. Okay. I'm hoping it's good too. The theme call. Yeah, the theme calls to me too. Oh, you did get the Trove, Rory? Trove will be here next month. So, I watched the Chip 3 games presentation at Gen Con, and it looks monstrous. Like, it looks like a really big box, and it fits all the content that they have, right? It's supposed to fit everything. I got everything, and everything comes for it, and everything was sworn in. Oathsworn's gonna be fun. It's gonna be worth it. You've heard it here first. Oathsworn's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be Shadowmoor Games is they're doing so. Let me tell you about my most anticipated. Trove is 41 pounds. Damn. Oh wow. Let me tell you about my most anticipated games. And I have to go to my Kickstarter for this, which I'm not gonna show you on my Kickstarter because that's shame, right? Private. No, but I'll tell you guys what's on my Kickstarter list. I don't care. Let's see. Come on, Kickstarter. Oh, let's see it. You all. So my anticipated game, it just fits in a KLX. It fits the room. Did a contest on the weight. Read on, I know. Wow. All right. My anticipated games of I will give you the 5 because I've got a lot. See, like I'm scrolling on my Kickstarter screen because I have a problem. Whatever, I have a problem. My anticipated games for hopefully this year, but definitely early next year. Number 5 of that is Great Wall by Awakened Realms, right? What's funny enough is that's how I found a content creator. Was I watched them play that and I was like, hey, this game looks cool, nobody else is doing it, and that drew me in. So that was my number 5. For those who don't know, Great Wall is basically a tactical worker placement game. So my most anticipated game is one kept in secret. Hey Brian. Hey, welcome aboard. Hey, no problem, man. I'm just happy that you're able to stop by. Throw questions up that you'd like to know, and I'll answer them. Number 5 is Great Wall. Worker placement, China setting, you're building up the Great Wall against the Mongolian invasion, that type of deal. Looks a lot of fun. Number 4 on my list, number 4 is Role Player Adventures. I am excited because I love Role Player. Role Player is awesome. Role Player is fantastic. If you haven't played Role Player, go play Role Player. It's fun. When you play the first game by itself just to get the hang of it, and then get monsters and minions and enjoy the beauty that is Role Player. That's my number 4. Number 3 anticipated, Ether Fields, because that is my most paid for Kickstarter. So Ether Fields, that's my number 3. Number 2, because I am wishy-washy and go between 2 games, is split between 2 games. One is Aeon's Trespass Odyssey, because yeah, I backed that. I didn't go all in. I behaved myself on Aeon's Trespass Odyssey. I behaved myself. I only got the prelude and the core game, and some other stuff. But only the prelude and the core game. I didn't get the other 2 big box expansions that go with it. So that one is that is number 2A. And number 2B is Madara. Because if a game's got lore, I'm going to buy it. And so Madara has lore for days. And so does Aeon's Trespass Odyssey. So those are my number 2s. And both of them, one of them is coming in, both of them should be coming in early next year, I believe. And my number 1 game, that is my most anticipated game, is Oathsworn and Ready? You ready for it? The Isofarian Guard. Story heavy, single player only, fantasy world that is ever evolving, and the new endgame content where you flip the mat and you play more story. And it's backed by Foreteller. Sold. Like everything it has on it sold. Isofarian Guard, top. I think that's going to be my number one solo pick for when it's released, because if you haven't looked it up, look it up. It looks amazing. And Oathsworn's just going to be awesome. It's just how it is. I mean, I'd like to say it won't be, but it will. Let's see. What else we got? Hey guys, I stream. Howdy, Brian. Dragon, you also back day on Trespass. Cool. When do the KDM streams start? Yep, I'm totally obsessed with the game right now. So Brian found the spot that, like, at the end of the rainbow. He found a pot of gold. He found a copy of Kingdom Death Monster for under $300. Under. Not $299, under $300. And so I am so looking forward to playing. Steven and I are supposed to play it on Tabletop Simulator at some point. At some point, Steven, but at some point. But I want to play that game. The thing is, I'm not going to pay $400 for it. And it makes no sense financially for them to make a standee version of Kingdom Death Monster. That it may be that I will never get to play it on a table. But if you're able to find me a copy for that cheap, I'll buy it. Let's see. Single player fantasy. We need a Canje Made Me Buy channel. Single player fantasy games. Shadows and Gloom Killforth, number one. Single player fantasy game other than that, I'd probably say I played a couple Arkham Horror, the card game, fantasy, Cthulhian horror, but that's another one that's big up there. Let's see. You're watching for me? Thank you. Yeah, if Kingdom Death goes on sale, I think like it'll go on sale, so where it's $400, it'll be like $395, not including shipping, right? It's like those ones that, or they mark it up and then discount it back, so it'll be like, okay, well, you could pay $600, but we're gonna sell it to you for $400. Hey, wait, don't you sell $400 anyway? I will get you in Discord. They're sold out in their warehouse. 8 a.m. Oh, really? Okay. I might be able to do a TTS play with you. That's the One Stop Co-op Shop playing it. That's Barrett, I think, that plays that's playing Kingdom Death Monster on there. I'm down. Listen, if it'll usually $325 on Black Friday, really $75 off. That's not too bad. Let's see. If anybody wants to play a board game on I know a lot of people don't like Tabletop Simulator. I understand why. Because they're like, I like to feel the cards in my hand. I like to play, and you want to do it. But to me, it's the only way I can play with people, right? Especially during this time, unless they're willing to like move to North Carolina, just so they can play a board game with me, right? That. But I think like I don't mind playing it. I don't mind playing games. So if people do and they're like, "Hey, Canje, you want to play a game?" Sure, let's do it. Let's see. It's usually $325 Black Friday. Almost put almost 200 hours. 200 hours. What lantern year are you in, Steven? I think Quackalope had a good TTS tutorial for KDM. Yeah, and he was doing a giveaway on that stuff too. I did the Quack thing once, and I was like, if that doesn't make it, then I'm not meant to have it. I've not been able to figure out TTS. It's not bad once you figure it out. You start moving around pretty quickly. There's still some nuance to it that I'm not good at. But how I learned was there is a Tabletop Simulator Discord, like a board game Discord where everyone's doing like this request on how to play a game. And I hopped in and I played a game on there, and they taught me how to play it, and I got pretty good quick. He hasn't announced the winner of the giveaway yet. I will. Yeah, I like I said, I did the quack thing to do it, and if I don't win from that, I'm not. I don't know. I love. I think the guy's cool and he does some really great content, and I love how he explains and breaks things down. But I just don't want to. I don't want to chase something like that when I'm probably, it's like I'm not gonna win that, so it's okay. It's okay. Tried to play cartographer since knew that game and I couldn't go past turn two. I haven't played cartographer yet. I hear it's fun, but I don't know if it's for me. Like I watched two playthroughs of it, and by both playthroughs, by about 30 minutes in, I was like, I don't know if this isn't for me. I'll stick with role player. And role player's been fun. Role player's been awesome. Um, Give some information too while you guys are queuing up and we're all chatting, having a good time. I've said this a couple times in a few streams, and I'm getting closer and closer to getting things kind of locked down. When I move to my final place and I get all my board games back from storage because I miss them so much, I'm going to be going through them, and the ones that I've finished playing and I will never play again. So instead of having them sit on a shelf, I actually want to give back to the community, and so who's been so beautiful and accepting of me. Can you do this? I'll answer that in a second. But who's been so beautiful and accepting of me. I am going to just be giving away the board games that I'm not going to play again. Like, instead of them sitting on a shelf, let me send them to you guys, and you play it, enjoy it, love it, have at it. And it's just kind of like saying thank you for coming to the table and playing with me. Here's me paying it forward. Here's a game, have at it, play it, take it to your table, enjoy it, love it, that type of thing. And who knows, I mean, let's all just be awesome and love each other, right? Do you do this channel full time? No. No, I do not, Rory. No, I do. I play. So I've gotten so heavy into board gaming and love it so much that I play 3 times a week. Mondays, which is Gloomhaven, right? It was Jaws of the Lion, now it's Gloomhaven. Thursdays, I throw in a game. I played a lot of different games over the Thursdays. And then Sundays, which is it was Dark Souls Sundays, then it became Deep Madness Sundays. Now it's going to be switching between Deep Madness Sundays and Folklore Sundays. So we'll be playing those two kind of going at each other so we can get some change up going there. Let's see, what do we got? No, I do not have enough viewers. I am like a tiny minnow in the Pacific Ocean. I am a no, like I don't have enough to make it a full-time thing. I would love to make it a full-time thing. I would love to play board games with you guys all the time, but no, I can't afford it. I have to hold down my real gerb. Other fantasy games. Have you the Hero Realms campaigns? Not the campaigns, but I played Hero Realms. No, I lied to you. I played Star Realms digitally. I have digital Star Realms and I love it. I haven't played Hero Realms. I've heard really great things about it, but that there's a campaign to it, Kate. Kate asked me, have you ever played the Hero Realms campaigns? I have not. I'm interested. Would you like to know more? Yes, I would. Han says, as you are loving Lovecraftian horror, maybe you will like the game Machina Arcana, 2nd edition. Someone put that in my ear the other day where they were saying I might like that one. I need to look into it. I'm gonna check it out, Hans. That's going on my list to check out. Hit you with a serious question. Why do you stream on YouTube and not Twitch? It all is a factor of, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that one though, Steven. I think with, I don't know. I think that's just where I started. So how did I get into streaming for people who are curious? And I'll answer all the questions too as we go. How did I get into streaming? I watched everybody do streams and everybody enjoy streams, and then the community that was so awesome around them when they were doing it. And I put a message in a stream, and I'm going to mention him again because him and his wife are the reasons why I'm doing this, because they pushed me to do it. But Rob from Rob Gaming Table and his wife Mel, they were doing a stream, and I got in there and I talked for the first time because I usually just sit quiet and watch. And I spoke for the first time, and they were super nice and welcoming. And then I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing the stream thing, but I don't know. I don't know if people will accept me. They'll probably be like, "Who the heck is this guy?" You know, we've got 10 billion other. Oh, see you later, Kate. Thanks for coming by. We have 10 billion other people coming through. So why are we listening to this guy? And so him and his wife just kind of said to me, they were like, dude, just do it. If you know, as long as you enjoy it, it's gonna be fun. Don't even worry about it. Just do it. And so I made a video, and I was like, this is fun. And then I made another video, and then I made another video and another video, and here we are. So it just so happened to be on YouTube. It wasn't a choice between the two. I just picked YouTube. I agree about TTS. I think the attempt to do physics is what makes it hard to do. Things go places you don't want them to go. Yeah, it's true, Brian. Sometimes it does. I do lose it. You will be full time. You got this. I would love to. I think if I think if I had the numbers that some of the big time content creators have, especially with Patreon, and I could do this instead of my current job, which I love my current job, don't get me wrong, I would play board games all day. I mean, I love it. I think it's fun. Let's see. What is my real life job? I am a developer. I'm a software engineer. I write code. I can't say for where, but I write code. I am a React front end. Well, I'm a full stack dev, but my specialties are React based development and front end development. But I do C# and stuff like that. But yep, I am a developer. I likes the programs, the codes. Star Realms Digitals, awesome. It is. It's a lot of fun. I like that it does a lot of work for you where I'd mess it up, but I enjoy it. One of the few games I'd rather play digital. Most games are on YouTube. That's true. Okay. I hate to watch Twitch UI, so I'm glad you do YouTube. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Because I stream once a month on Twitch, he doesn't want the competition. Bring it on, Sakabro. Bring it on. Sakabro will say, like, he'll be like, "Hey, I'm gonna stream this weekend," and then wink, wink, wink. Oh man, we're all having a good time. We're all having a good time. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else is on my I have a lot of games on my shelf of shame. A lot of games that's going to be coming to the stream too. I actually love what I do. I want to get into streaming as well. I have friends over at Twitch. One is actually a coach of mine. I'm thinking YouTube. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy doing them on YouTube. They're a lot of fun. I have a lot of games on my shelf of shame. A lot. I have Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle Earth. I played the game once solo, loved it, but haven't gotten back to it. But it will make it on the channel. I've got Descent Journeys in the Dark, which I bought that game. I bought that game recently, and I got the inserts for it, so it's in the box, organized. And I want to play that game. Need to go. It's 1 a.m. over here. Thanks, Canje. Bye, Hans. Thank you so much. If you do board game or Minecraft streaming, you want to be on YouTube. Fair enough. Thanks for joining, Hans. I appreciate it. Let me think. What else? I I have I've got a game called Runebound that is the second edition. And I bought the game because I was like, hey, high fantasy. That looks fantastic. That is awesome. Um, then I read that you have to play the game solo, you have to have this thing called Unbreakable Bonds. It's this expansion, thin box expansion that makes the game playable solo. And I was like, okay, well, it probably is going to cost me $20. Let me go ahead and get it. You cannot find this Unbreakable Bonds thing anywhere. It is out of print. It is gone. So now I have this board game of Runebound that I can never play because finding Unbreakable Bonds is. So that's probably going to be one of those games where I'm like, hey, community, here you go. And it's all, I never opened it. It's all sealed, it's wrapped up. But I can't play it without because it's unplayable otherwise. Let's see what we got. I only just started to do board game stuff. You get way higher numbers, basically any other game. Did anyone ask this question yet? What hobby geek board game got you hooked on the hobby? Brian, the game that got me hooked on the hobby, the game that got me into board gaming was Ascension. That's the first board game I played as an adult. The game that got me into the hobby was I forgot what it was. I said it earlier too. Skip my brain. But I think it was what was it? It was an earlier game I had too. Oh, now I remember. And I told like this whole heartwarming story about what got me back into it, right? Gloomy Killforth. Gloomy Killforth got me hooked on the hobby. Because it came at a tough time in my life where I needed it. My brain skipped past that. Let me see. Yeah, Gloomy Killforth hooked me in the hobby because it got me out of a depression and helped me keep going. And then and then I found Kickstarter, and you know what happens when you look at Kickstarter for board games? Yep, you get a list of the most like, yeah. So let's see. That is sitting on my shame shelf, and I bought the expansion to play it. You have Unbreakable Bonds, Dragon? I was like, I can't play it. Do you enjoy an adult beverage? If so, what drink? If not, what's your favorite drink? I thought I would be the one to ask about drinks. I'm a liqueur, right? Do I gotta do this when I do it? A liqueur drinker. I don't do beers or IPAs or anything like that. I prefer whiskeys and bourbons. I don't have a favorite type as long as just it's good. And I'd probably say, like, if you were to say, all right, well, you're coming to my place, I'm gonna give you a drink. What do you want to drink? I'd probably go for like a Jack and a Coke and drink that, and we play board and laugh and have a good time and play Kingdom Death Monster Steven. All right, let's see what we got. Catan, church friends were trying to set me up. I was way more interested in the game. oh! Your church friends were trying to introduce you to somebody, and so they brought Catan as being like, sit around, let's, stay a while, listen, play this game, meet this person. Yeah, about Catan, so the rules, this sounds cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta go. Sorry for the short stay, but the wife is giving me the look. Like I need to go do another thing. All right, Brian, thanks for joining. I super appreciate it. Scotchy. I love Scotch. So, Carver, you and I know way too many movies. Way too many movie references. Let's see. What else do we got? True, man. I'm not able to do so. Classy. the stories of my foolishness. Yeah. We have fun. We have fun. Um, I think this has been cool. I really enjoy you all joining me and chatting with me and having a good time. It looks like you know, it's to me the amount that we have that's showing up and still here and kind of chatting and having a good time. I love this. I really do, and I appreciate you all so much. I I think this is fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm smiling over here because I'm like, you're the reasons why I'm doing this stuff and having a good time at it and just kind of talking and talk about so many. We can talk about anything. We can talk about anything, and I'll enjoy it. But that we play these board games, we have fun playing these board games, and we continue to just show up for each other. I mean, we go to different content creators, or we just kind of join each other and rib each other on comment chats and have a good laugh and time. That means a lot to me. You have no idea how much fun I have just kind of getting on different streams when people do live streams, and I watch their live stream and they just goof off and laugh and have a good have a good chat. I love it. I really do. This has been it has been a blast. I enjoy talking with all of you, and I think that's the thing. I want to keep doing this. One, because I enjoy board gaming, but two, because I enjoy talking to all of you. I mean, we give each other a hard time, but that's in the spirit of it all, right? We joke, we laugh, we sit at the table for a little while and forget the craziness that's going on out there. We don't that we can't go outside or go and meet each other without putting on a mask and dealing with the state of affairs of the world. We don't worry about that. We let that stuff fall away, or even the stresses of the day. We let that stuff just fall away, and we just sit here and play a game and laugh and have a good time. And it doesn't matter where we're from or bad sad rolls. I do that a lot, Dragon. I do that a lot. But I mean, we don't care where we're from or who we are. We're playing a game together, and we come together on that. We just have a good time, man. I love that stuff, and so that's what makes me want to do this. I want a mask that looks like the best. Oh my gosh! People will leave you alone if you do that, Steven. We love you, Canje. Like I said before, you keep it real. Not enough of that in the world today. You're a good lift up. Thank you, Rory. I appreciate that so much. I think you all are too. You all keep me honest and make sure that, if I'm playing a game and I'm doing something wrong, I want you to point out and be like, that's wrong. That's how I met Steven. I asked the question. Actually, yeah, I think that's how I met you, Steven. But I was playing. I put in some stuff into the. I know I met you on the Killforth Facebook page, and I remember I posted in there that the game had been so touching for me, and I think you had offered to pay for like my Veil Wraith thing, and I was like, no, I mean I love you, man, but no, I want to save that for somebody else who needs it. I can afford it right now, but just that you were so kind in offering to do that, I think that's when we became friends, and then we just kind of had fun from that point on. But he's kept me honest on Killforth over the years. But no, it's been fun. We can we've been chatting for a while. I'm sure you guys have other stuff you got to go get to, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming to this, and I'm doing this because of you. So if you, for my next milestone, I don't know what number that could possibly be, probably like 150 or 200, because I never even thought I'd make 100. For my next milestone, you let me know what you want me to do, and I'll do that. But I just wanted to chat with you, and you guys can ask me questions and get to know me, and I can get to know you, that type of deal. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I'm always available. I'm on so many different places. So I'm around. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, my Patreon that's there, Discord, that type of thing. I'm all over. and I answer. You know, I want to get to know you all. I want to see what you're all about. I want to see what makes you happy, right? What are the things that make you happy about what you do, and go from there. I don't believe that's your last word on it, Rory. I don't believe it. I think you're gonna post get too many bones again. I promise you I will. I promise you. And I don't break promises. I promise you I will. So next year I will be picking up too many bones. But thank you so much. Once again, my patrons, big hearts. Thank you so much. Love you to death. YouTube subscribers, you got me here. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. I love you guys for it. Thank you. What comes next? Well, what comes next is going to be Hostage Negotiator tomorrow, 5:30. Same bat time, same bat channel. And hey, good night, Dragon. Good night, everybody. Everybody stay safe. Insert comment here. And see you next time. Bye.